Yo, what is up? It is absolutely gorgeous outside, and I am just going to do a quick little video today, and it is following on your environment. Now, normally when people are talking about your environment, we'll sort of talk about your home environment, what the kitchen's like, what type of food's there, work, your social environment, things like this, and I am going to cover those as well, but I'm going to talk about something slightly little bit different in terms of your environment, and that will be the people in your environment. So, yeah, this is really, really key, and it's how sometimes the people closest to you could actually be the ones that are holding you back. So, I'm sure you've heard of this thing called homeostasis. And essentially, it's how, I suppose, your body regulates itself. It's trying to keep everything the same all the time. And yeah, your body and mind are always looking for homeostasis, to stay the same. So they'll resist change. This can happen in your environment too. And quite often, it's the people closest to you who are going to resist your change the most. So let's take for an example. So this, I'm talking about your friends, your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. These people who you'd assume would be the supportive ones could actually be holding you back. So let's take, for example, your partner. So say your boyfriend. And for the last few years, you guys have pretty much spent most evenings sitting on the couch, sitting on the sofa, whatever, watching TV, getting takeaways, eating crisps, eating chocolates, eating sweets, doing this type of stuff. And now you've decided to change. You've had enough. You want to get better. You want to get healthier, slim down, tone up, whatever it is. But they haven't decided to change. And this is where you can sometimes get this resistance coming from them. So this quite often will manifest itself in the case of, they'll keep bringing certain foods into the house, or temptation around you, or trying to get you to do things that you don't want to do, because essentially what's happened is you're trying to change, but they're not ready for the change, and your change is now changing their environment, and they're not happy about it. Even if they don't on a conscious level realize it, it could be just subconsciously. So, even negative comments and stuff, it mightn't always be that they bring food around you or temptation, but they could make negative comments about your appearance, or about how you've changed, or it's not the same anymore. And all of this is designed in a way to get you to go back to the way things were, because that's where they were happy and comfortable. And this can happen in your social environment too. So with your friends, say for argument's sake, you go out for dinner, drinks, stuff like this with your friends, and you're starting to try and make better choices. Sometimes you can get the bitchy comments, or why don't you just have one? People trying to force things in front of you, even sometimes to the degree of being left out of the group because of your change is changing the dynamics. And that's like homeostasis in play in your environment, and you really need to be very conscious of it. So because your change sometimes can be like holding a mirror up to other people, and it can make them feel bad about themselves. And like I said, your changing doesn't mean they want to change, and a lot of times we will resist that. So it's something to be hugely aware of the whole time in your environment. Just watch out for these things, because it can be very subtle sometimes, and it could be something as simple as that could end up holding you back. But also, you've got to not be always looking around at other people. You've got to look at yourself. So for argument's sake, if you're spending a lot of time with somebody who is doing stuff like that to you, then perhaps it's time you had to make a decision about either having a conversation with them or spending less time with them, because you need to explain it to them. Look, this is serious, this is important to me, and I need you to stop doing X around me, or whatever it might be. But you also have to, all of this, any kind of change, it takes brutal honesty. So you need to be scanning your environment the whole time. So what is your house like? Do you have good food in the fridge? Do you do a weekly shop? Are you prepared? Are you getting caught out? Where are you getting caught out? Do you always have to work late, and then you don't have food, and that leads to you doing something that you shouldn't? What is work like? So even one of the girls, they have sweets in office all day long, and they have them on her desk, so right beside her desk, which is a recipe for disaster. So mission number one is get them away from your desk. But all of this takes you being aware and being honest and trying to look at it and where can I make changes, because it ain't going to happen unless you do something about it. So where else in your environment could it be potentially holding you back? Like even your journey to work, is there sights, is there sounds, is there stuff there that is triggering you and making you think about things? But all of this is going to be what sets you up for success, and that's the most important thing, is setting yourself up for success. And your environment is going to have one of the biggest impacts on that. I would be a big believer in the way you think having almost the biggest impact, but your environment is where you spend all your time. So it makes sense that if you want to make changes to your body and to your life, you're going to have to make changes to your environment, especially if that environment isn't conducive to getting the results that you're after. So I suppose there's some food for thought, guys. Take a look around your environment, take a look around at the places, the things in the environment, but most importantly, take a look around at the people in your environment, and is their behavior supportive, or is their behavior potentially holding you back? And again, all of this, it always boils down to you. You're the one person in control of this. You're the one person who, I suppose, has the power to either make it happen or not make it happen. So it ultimately comes down to what you want and what you're willing to do about it. So yeah, take a look around that environment, guys. What do you need to change? Boom.